I'm going to deviate for just a moment from our study of Jonah. And the thing that has caught my attention as we've gone through this study of the lifetimes of this frustrated prophet named Jonah, and how that he came to that place in his life where he was angry with God. And he was angry with God because God chose to spare the souls of thousands of people. And he says in his prayer, as he begins to pray to God in this time of frustration, he says, I know. He says, thou art a gracious God. Well, then I began to think about this beautiful word, gracious. And I began to put it in context. Somebody says, oh, that person is just so gracious. And somebody says that about somebody, we get a mental picture of somebody who's just gracious. And you think about this person that you would see in your mind, and this would be a person that I think that was very loving, very caring, and just really carried themselves in such a way that when you were with them, you just felt comfortable being around them. And the part that I was saying that I'm going to deviate from the book of Jonah just for a moment is it made me think about the characters of Mary and Martha. And the thing about Martha was that Jesus said, you are encumbered with many things. You've got a lot of things on your mind. And then here was Mary over here, and what she had on her mind was just spiritual things. And she was just caught up in worship of Jesus. But yet, when I think about Martha, and Martha a lot of times gets the bum rap because people say, oh, look at her, because she is so seemingly so carnal. But yet she was a person that if you went to her house, she's going to make you feel comfortable. She's going to make sure you have something to eat, you're going to have something to drink, and that you're going to be taken care of in Martha's house. And to me, that's a description of a very gracious person who cares about people, even though at times she got distracted. But Jesus said of the two, he says, Mary has chosen the good thing here. And I'm so thankful for people like Mary. Praise God. We need people like Mary in the church. We need people like Mary to lead us in praise and worship. But I thank God also, I appreciate those Marthas in the church too, because we need them. You see, we need that balance. We need that balance. So when Jonah says to God, he says, God, you're so gracious. Well, now he's talking about the same God that caused him to be swallowed by fish and spit him out on the ground. I mean, the gracious God that Jonah is talking about is also a God that sometimes can be harsh, because he will discipline when we need to be disciplined. And he will sometimes challenge us when we need to be challenged. Yes, I do believe he is a gracious God, but he's all about making us what he wants us to be, because it's his calling. It's Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.